Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Midway. The Battle of Midway, this is the story of that. The battle between the American and the Japanese. World War II, the turning point of World War II. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting. It's 6.9 on IMDb. Now, in this is Ed Skrein. I like him. Patrick Wilson. I don't know. He's good in some things. I don't know how it would be in this, but whatever. Woody Harrelson's good at everything. Luke Evans, Mandy Moore, and then Dennis Quaid, Aaron Eckhart, Nick Jonas are some of the names right off the top that we recognize. So nice cast. I like it. But it's based on true events, and I think it's through the eyes of the actual soldiers or something like that. So, well, it's got to be. It's based on true events. I don't know. We'll get into it. They mentioned something about through the eyes of the leaders and the soldiers and the people who actually want it for us. So 2 hours and 16 minutes, a little bit long, but hopefully it's good. So let me get into it, find out what it's really about, and ultimately tell you what I think. Stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Midway. We're at the 1 hour, 14 minute, and 19 second mark. I really wasn't going to check in because you know what the movie's about, and that's normally what I use these check-ins for, but I wanted to anyway. I think it's good to tell a little bit about what the actors that we talked about, what kind of role that they're playing. Ed Skrein is the pilot. He's one of the best pilots. He's a pilot for the United States, of course, one of the best ones. Woody Harrelson's a commander of some sort. I'm not exactly sure of his title, but he's heading up basically the mission at Midway, so he's in charge of it all. Luke Evans is another pilot. Mandy Moore plays Ed Skirkin's wife. And Dennis Quaid is an admiral on one of the ships, and Aaron Eckhart was a bomber pilot, and Nick Jonas is also a pilot. So a lot of pilots in this, of course. But the big thing, the one thing that I didn't talk about, was Patrick Wilson, and I kind of said, you know, I wasn't sure about him. He plays an intelligence officer, and he does it really well. Right from the beginning, I was going to stop it right in the beginning of the film where he's in Japan meeting with a higher up Japan admiral or something like that. I'm not sure what his role is, but he's, you know, they're in a conversation together, and once I saw that piece, I was like, okay, I misjudged him, you know. I thought, you know, I didn't know how he was going to be in this type of role, serious role, but really, really good, and he has the most significant role of it all. So he's trying to piece together what the Japanese are going to do. In the beginning, they talked about how he predicted the attack on Pearl Harbor, but nobody listened to him. So now they're really relying on him to determine what their next move is. And of course, Midway is that next move. But it's interesting to see, you know, his character develop here and into the story. So that's really where we are. We've seen Pearl Harbor, the attack on Pearl Harbor and everything that happened. And then, you know, some of the other strategic moves that has happened so far in the World War II here, and now we're moving into the Midway section. So now it's about to be about the battle at Midway. So it's really cool, very educational. It's neat to see it because, you know, that I've seen Pearl Harbor, of course, and that was a great movie. I love that one. This is kind of like the sequel, you know, almost. So always love movies about our heroes, our military, even though these are 1942 heroes, 1941-42 heroes, but still heroes nonetheless, of course. Always makes me think, man, I should have joined, you know, the armed forces. I think I'm still young enough. I think they could still take me. I might consider doing that. But it is great to see. Of course, this is all movies, and, you know, everybody's a hero, and it's not. I probably wouldn't be as great as Woody Harrelson if I did join the armed forces. Anyway, enough about me. Back to the movie. So far, so good. I'm really enjoying it. So at least 1 hour and 14 minutes has been good. So stick around. I'll probably see you at the end here. We've got a little over an hour left, and hopefully it still continues to be great. But I will check in and let you know. All right. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Midway, and it had everything I needed, I think, you know. So when I see stories or movies about real life events, at the end I like to see the words at the end to tell me what has happened since the movie, or since the time the movie took place. And I also like to see pictures of the real people, and this is absolutely perfect in that regard. So, I talked about all the different characters and actors that played the characters in this movie, and, it's pilots and commanders and whatever, but it shows you each and every one of them that we've been watching now for 2 hours and 16 minutes, and, what has happened. It shows the actor initially, in a scene, and the movie's still kind of going on. It's not necessarily credits yet, but it's right before the credits. And, it's showing them as the movie comes to the conclusion, and each character's, their conclusion or their final scene, and then it shows the actor, and then it puts up the name, who they played, the soldier that they played, their rank, and then what has happened, like the awards that they have won, and how they've named now awards after some of these people in this. And then as the picture's there, it changes to the picture of the actual person. So I love that. I think that's awesome. That really escalates this movie for me. Now, the movie itself, I thought, was really good. I really liked it a lot. There's some things that I don't know what happened. So, I'm not going to ruin anything. Don't worry. I mean, you should know what happened at the Battle of Midway. Not that I did, but a lot of people do. It's public knowledge. But I don't know what happened to the submarine. So there's a scene with the submarine. I don't know. And if there was no significance that I saw, I might have missed it. I watched it. I didn't fall asleep at all. Didn't even nod off or anything like that. I just don't know what happened there. Maybe I was focused on something else. The other piece of it is the Doolittle story. So Aaron Eckhart played Sergeant Doolittle, or like somebody like that, and that was one of the bombers that came down and crashed. Well, you see that piece, and you see a little bit about it, but it's not really developed at all. And they have it in the end, not the credits, but right before the credits, like I was talking about, where they recognize all the people that have done something. And it was like insignificant in this movie. It felt like me like it was cut out or something like that, because it was only partially in there. And again, I watched this movie, pretty closely. I thought, I don't know what happened there. So I didn't like that. The Doolittle side, and the other thing. Well, the submarine, I don't understand. Everything else was good. When I focused on everybody else, and they told the whole story, and you're invested in them and that kind of thing, I think they could have developed a lot more people, different characters in here. They did a little bit. I think they could have done it more. But again, it was already 2 hours and 16 minutes. I think that was good enough time. It wasn't too long. But for them to develop characters more, it would have had to go longer, and you'd have to cut something out. That's probably why they cut out part of the Doolittle stuff and the submarine stuff. So there are areas of opportunity. Otherwise, it's great. I mean, I know I'm very critical, but there's that piece. I liked the acting. I liked them all. Like I said, I'm really surprised that Patrick Wilson. Enjoyed him. Woody Harrelson was phenomenal. Ed Skrein, good. Here's the piece that was also missing for me. So I think there's a lot of moments in this, and I think there's a lot of moments for that good motivational type speech. Like the one in Pearl Harbor by Baldwin. The one in, what was it? This is our 4th of July, Independence Day. The Independence Day speech, Now, it doesn't have to be that grandiose, but there was opportunity for Ed's character, Dick Best, to give a little bit of a motivational speech. And maybe, that's not the kind of guy he was. But I think that was missing in it. There's a lot of times that he could have, and he says some things. I think they could have wrote it better. A little dialogue issue for me in that area. And that's more the movie side than it is the truth side. Whatever, I think you need to, spice it up a little bit and give it that little, get people motivated. I didn't feel it in his words when he had to motivate people. So, again, a little critical on those pieces, but otherwise, fantastic film. I'm thinking 8, maybe a 7 because of the holes. I don't know, in that range, good piece of history. I liked it a lot, and I liked how they highlighted the soldiers. So there you go. That's all I got for you. If you haven't checked it out, make sure you do. If you like movies about soldiers or war or anything, true life stories, this is definitely a recommended film for you. And if you did watch it, let me know. Drop me some comments. What did you think? Do you understand? Do you agree with what I'm saying about the submarine and the Doolittle stuff? And you know, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and tell friends. And continue to come back at Kimmel's Irish Pub.